What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Cosmic Quick Fix Live. That's hard to say. Cosmic Quick Fix. Awesome. Hey, thanks everyone for joining. If you can hop in the chat and tell us where you're coming from, and we're excited to be here. So if this is your first time here, we'll give everyone a minute to pop in. We do these once a week, and the goal of these is twofold. One is it's just open office hours. So if you are on Genie Rocket, this is your chance to ask some questions. We've got Logan in the house over here who can help with technical stuff. We've got Madison in chat over here, who's our expert design. And John just realized he should be logging in. So John's about to log in to help with any copy stuff. So we're here to support you. We're also going to do some different trainings on here. So if it ends up being quiet in the chat, we're going to show you some cool stuff that we're working on and doing that's actually working to get results. What's up, Robert? Glad you're here, man. So let's go ahead and I'm going to get my screen ready to share. And while I'm getting my screen sharing on, if you guys have any questions you'd like us to address while we're in the Cosmic Quick Fix, go ahead and type them up in the chat so we can try to get to that here in just a little bit. And I'm going to get my screen loaded up. Hope everyone is having an awesome day today. Happy Friday. All right. Pull up a demo account here. What is up, Jonathan?
That's me.
Oh, that is you. Jonathan never goes by Jonathan. Jonathan usually goes by John or Jom. All right. Cool, guys. So before we jump into any training stuff, do you guys have any questions you'd like to ask? So open office hours, how can we help? Anything that you guys are specifically working on, we can pull up your account right in here. If you're struggling with maybe like a campaign you're trying to send out, maybe a small technical thing, maybe it's wondering how to accomplish a certain goal, like how do I get people to my funnel? How do I build a funnel? How do I look at reporting on funnel or email? Anything like that you have as questions are great questions to ask. Uh-oh. And it looks like this is a brand new feature. So Content AI, generate your social media content twice as fast. So it looks like we've officially rolled out AI for social media. Let's go take a look at that, see what that's all about. Let's go to our account. New post, create new post. Let's see where the AI generator is. So this is, while I try to figure this out, this is a brand new feature that is going to be rolled out to both email and social. If you guys haven't heard all the trending topics around artificial intelligence and AI for copy, it is huge, especially within marketing. It really is taking marketing by storm. So what's going to happen is in email marketing and in social scheduling very soon, if not, looks like maybe part of this today that we're going to try to find out where it is, you'll be able to use an AI content generation tool. So if you get stuck on what to post, Robert could go in there and say, I need to write a post about custom affordable headstones. And it would actually help you generate some of that content for custom affordable headstones. It could be where, if Hannah is in here and needs to write a social post or send an email about world-class dog training in your backyard, even for that dog that you think will never be able to shape up or get to the right behaviors, it will help generate that content for you. So let me just check here real fast, see where that is here.
I'm getting it loaded up for us, Brad.
Getting it loaded up, okay. So Logan's going to tell us when that's ready. So it looks like for social media, and we'll show you here in a bit, how you can start using that possibly even today for social media to have AI bot write your social media, which is pretty cool, right? How many of you guys think you would use AI bot for helping you write social media? Just give me like a thumbs up in the chat. Yep. Yeah, it is a huge helper. When you know the right content you want to produce, then the AI bot just helps you get there a little bit faster. So if Marshall wants to write a post about, five group fitness trends that are taking off this year and why most people won't take action on them, that would be a great social post, right? And he's not having to think through all the specifics on it. He can leverage an AI bot to do that. So Logan will just give us a thumbs up when we're ready to show how that works, hopefully here soon. All right, so before we go into any other training here, does anyone have any questions on their account, things that they're working on that they'd like me to help with, or things maybe they'd like to see that they have not seen yet with the tool? That can be with automation, can be with social media management, with email marketing, text marketing, calendars, contacts, courses. We do have some really, really neat things too that I can't share with you completely that will be coming out in the next quarter. And even like this next year, we've got some really fun and great updates that will help you guys continue to grow your business. Yes, the calendar. Let's talk about the calendar for just a bit. So how many of you guys are using the calendar right now for your business? Whether that's for booking appointments or managing just your day-to-day within your business. Just give me a quick thumbs up if you guys are currently using the calendar in here. Cool. All right. Yep. We use the heck out of it. So the beauty of this calendar in here is, one, it connects directly to your Google Calendar or your Outlook calendar. And how you set those up is step one, you'll actually go into settings and integrations. And then you will be able to, if you connect your Google account, if you're on Google, it will automatically connect your calendar account. So you need to make sure you sign into Google with the account that you have your calendar on, and that's how you set up the Google Calendar. If you have Outlook, you're simply going to go to your profile. So that's going to be under settings and profile. And then you'll see kind of to the bottom, you'll see the Outlook calendar right here that you can actually connect and sync with your Outlook calendar. Once you do that, you're then going to go to settings and calendars. And this is, if you guys have ever used anything like Calendly before or any tools like that, it is very similar. You can set up unlimited calendars, and you can make these calendars either like a one-time event, meaning if it's just a book 15 minutes with yourself, you can make them a round robin calendar. So for example, if Marshall has a personal training calendar and someone wants to book just with a personal trainer, and let's say he has 3 personal trainers, they could actually go and book with the personal trainer, and it would give either by availability or by priority personal trainers access to those calendars. So it would get booked on one of those 3 calendars. So another thing that you can do too with the calendars that are really nice, I'm just going to go in here to edit one, is you can give it obviously like the name of the calendar, the URL, the appointment title. This is what's going to show up on your calendar and the person's calendar that books. And we like to use these dynamic fields. This is automatic. So this would, for example, say Logan's booking with Marshall's lead trainer. And then it's going to give the meeting location. This could be an online location of where they're going to click to join, or it could be your physical office. The linked calendar, this is where you're going to choose, if it's a Google Calendar, you're going to choose the right Google Calendar you want it to sync with. I always like to do it as one-way sync. Two-way sync means if you add it on your Google Calendar, it's also going to go through all the automations on your Genie Rocket account. The negative side of that is if you have a bunch of things with like emails tied to it and some nurturing tied to it, then anytime you add on even like a personal calendar event, it's going to trigger all that if you add it from your Google Calendar. If you do a one-way sync, that means people have to book in with you on your Genie Rocket calendar, or if they self-book, it'll only come in through that way. So you don't run into the risk of you adding a family member's birthday on there and adding your family member, and all of a sudden they get all your marketing. Whoops, let me go back in here real quick. Okay, the next step is availability. What's really nice about this is you can only do your slot duration, slot interval, buffer between appointments, but you can also do how many appointments you have per slot. So we have, for example, some drip bar locations using this. That's IV vitamin therapy through drip, and they might have 2 or 3 appointments per slot. So if someone books for an IV drip and they have 3 chairs, they can actually change this number to 3. And what that means is 3 people can book on that same time, and then it will close. So if Hannah, for example, had a certain training session on here and she could only take 5 people to come in with their dogs for training, or she's doing the dog walk, it can only do a certain amount of walks for that training. That's where she can say, I'm only accepting this many appointments and only that many people can book. You can have a minimum scheduling notice, a date range. You can do custom office hours, all those different things right here. One thing you can also do that's really neat is you can make it where it's one date and one time. So if you have a special event, so if Marshall ever had like a first time class, he could actually create that on here and said, this is one class, it's at this date and this time, and it can accept this many people. Then he can share that link. And when it fills up, no more people can book. So he could literally send out a link and say, I only have 10 spots available. Here's the link. Once they're gone, and it's all automatic. After that 10th person, nobody would be able to book on that link any longer. And then the confirmation, simple stuff here you can go through that just kind of confirms all the appointment information. Once you have that set up, again, you can have unlimited calendars, unlimited appointments, and then when you go back just to view your calendar view, you're going to see all of your synced calendar events on here. So your full calendar, and then you can do a drop down to see all of the specific calendars right here. So that is how calendars work. Whew, I know that was a little dense. Hopefully that helped. It's a lot of information. Okay, so Logan just sent me some messages about the new social media AI. Let's take a look, see what we can do here. Okay, let's see if we can make this work. If not, we'll come back to it later. We just saw this was just launched, so. Okay, sweet, content AI. Well, there's the category for it. Let's see if we can make that work. Social planner, create new post. Content AI. Okay, you guys are seeing us figure this out live for the first time. So you guys all get to be on the same journey. So I'm on Social Planner. So if you log into Genie Rocket, hit Social Planner, do new post, choose Content AI. Here we go. Content title. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Let's see, what should we write about? Why you need book whiteboarding session. We'll do cows next time, Madison. That's a good one, though. Why you need to book a whiteboarding session. And we'll do a content description. Book a 1-hour whiteboard strategy session to unlock next level of growth for your business. Add keywords. We'll just make this fast. I just want to show you guys how this works. And I'm also interested to see how it works. This will be fun for everybody. Keywords, strategy, whiteboard, results. Select writing tone. Have to go back there on keywords. Let's do persuasive. Whiteboard. Strategy. Results. Except I'll try to spell some stuff right. Results. Number variations 3. Okay. So just so you guys see what I'm doing here, we're now on the social planner. We're saying write AI content. We got the content title, why you need to book a whiteboarding session, the brief description, book a 1-hour whiteboard strategy session to unlock the next level of growth for your business, the keywords, whiteboard strategy results, the writing tone persuasive, 3 variations. Let's see what happens. So we hit generate content, and we have 3 variations. So content 1, ready to take your business to the next level. Book a 1-hour whiteboard strategy session and unlock the powerful strategies for achieving results. Variation 2, ready to unlock the next level of growth for your business. A 1-hour whiteboard strategy session can help you get there. Harness the power of a whiteboard strategies to see real results. Variation 3, do you want to see results in your business? Book a 1-hour whiteboard strategy session and unlock the next level of growth. Whiteboarding is the key to success. Get the strategy and results you deserve. So you can see it took the ideas there, and we got to choose the writing tone, the keywords, the title, and description, and it just helps pull all that together. And then we can simply hit one of these, hit copy. Boom, it puts it right there. We're going to hit continue. And now that can be part of my social post. So then I can choose my social channel and get it posted. I don't know why it's not letting me select my social channel. Maybe it's my browser. But that is something that I believe, Logan, maybe you can chime in on chat here. Is that available to everybody yet, or is that coming soon?
I think it's available to everybody.
Okay.
Mute your mic.
My speaker's muted. Try again.
Okay. I think it is available to everybody. I don't know if somebody wants to be brave and try it. That's tuning in. Maybe Marshall can try it. I don't know. I don't know if it's live. I think it is.
Right now, Hannah, it is just for social. I think it's going to be coming to other forms of communication in the future. So I think the first rollout right now is just social. What you can also do, though, is you could use that and obviously like copy that text and paste it into social. So you can use that as just kind of like a content AI bot. Looks like it's integrated directly with social to be quicker. But yeah, you could definitely use that for really anything you need copy for. And I'm just checking a couple places real fast to look on AI. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so Robert, if you go to marketing and then social media, and then create new post on the top right, and then there should be a drop down that says social. So if you go right here to new post, content AI, that will pull up right here, generate content. So hopefully you guys see all that. All right, cool. Has anyone used Chatbot before or done anything with chat that they'd like to share? Or like an AI chat generator, sorry. If you haven't yet, I do encourage you to try it because it can save you a lot of time. And this is the future. I mean, this is stuff that everybody is using with Chatbot and chat generators. So I highly encourage you to check that out. Yeah, really good for writing blog posts, long form content, short form content, really any sort of content that you need. All right. Okay, so for our time left, we can do one of two things. If you guys have any specific questions, you can throw it up in chat here. I'm happy to answer. Or we can talk about a reactivation campaign. We've seen some good success with this. Marshall and Robert, both in here, have had some great success recently with what's called a reactivation campaign of just waking some people up in their list. So happy to show you guys what that looks like if there's no specific questions. And if Marshall, if you and Robert don't even mind posting kind of just in the chat and sharing what kind of results you got, or if one of you wants to be brave enough, I can bring you up on stage with us and you can share on video for a second just to talk about what you did and what results you got. What's that? Okay, I can actually do it from your computer, or you can come on over here. Okay. Marshall's actually in the office with us, so it makes it convenient here. Okay, and Hannah, I got that message too, so we'll come back to that. So I'm going to give Marshall presenter access, or invite him on stage real quick. All right, Marshall, you're live.
Man, I feel like I'm big dog now. I've reached the pinnacle. Yeah. So actually, here in Brad's live workshop a few weeks ago, he challenged us to send out a simple text message that included 3 things: scarcity, urgency, and bonus. And so I selected 1,000 leads that were, the way I have them classified in my Genie Rocket, are coma, right? These are like non-responsive, cold, dead leads. And out of that, brief text message, which was basically like, hey, for the first 10 people to respond, I've got 5 free classes for you. Reply, let's hit it, right? Very simple. And I got 37 responses. And again, these are people that are not hot leads. They've been in my system. We've called several times. We've sent text several times. We've sent them emails and we can't get any response. And so I was shocked at how easy it was, frankly.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to get my microphone over here to work for my speakers. Yeah, so Marshall, from those, when you sent out all of those texts and you got those responses back, you did that while you were here with us in a very short format, and you got those results back, a lot of them pretty quickly and some of them back over time. And if you guys are interested in doing something like that, that's just called a database reactivation campaign. So we're saying these are people that have not responded. So in Marshall's point, like some of them, it had been a long time since they responded to any text or emails or anything, right?
Yeah, in some cases, been leads in our system for 8 or 10 months, and we never were able to actually connect with them to get them to come into the studio and see what we're about. And so that was, for me, the biggest surprise was simply that, not that we got response, but that we got response from these leads that I thought were, hopeless. They had checked out. They were cold. They were, we hadn't had any luck connected with them previously.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Marshall. Thanks for being on with us for a little bit. Awesome. And then Robert here. Yeah, Robert did a blast. He said about to 2,000 contacts and took about 10 minutes to send them all. And then Robert, you got some good results from that too. Do you want to come on video real fast and tell us, or do you just want to type out in chat the results that you got from that? All right. We'll invite Robert on stage here. Welcome, Robert.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
We can hear you just fine.
All right. Yeah. So I wasn't set up at the workshop, but the next day I wanted to take some action. So I just blasted out a text, and it was a pretty generous offer. We don't do a lot of promotions. Basically, we did $100 off of any item, $250 or more. And we said we created some urgency and scarcity by saying the first 20 people to respond. And then we gave them a keyword, early bird, to respond to. And we ended up getting roughly 50 replies for people who opted in. We haven't closed all those leads, and some people didn't respond when we tried to follow up on them. I think right now we've got roughly 20 closed sales off of that. Now, the one thing I did learn is I need to set up some automation as far as once they reply back to opt in, because it kind of took my entire day trying to manually stay on top of all these people and reply and strike while the iron was hot. So next time I do this, I'm going to set up some automations to automate some of that, to automatically tag them and give them some sort of feedback, so I don't have to manually type in a response or try and call everyone. So next time I'll add that, but for just something quick and dirty, it was really encouraging that we got that much of a response on our first try.
That's awesome, Robert. Thanks for sharing. And do you mind telling everyone what kind of business you're in?
So we manufacture custom stonework. Typically, it's for signage. So we do commercial signs, neighborhood entrances. We also do a lot of residential name and address rock. So rock that you'd set in up by your mailbox or in your flower bed with your name or your address on it. We also do basically anything that would look cool engraved on rock. We do things like flagpoles, fire pits, mailboxes. So there's quite a variety. We also do custom headstones. So we do some B2B, some B2C, and there's several areas that we're looking to grow in.
Love it. That's great. Cool. Thanks for being on, Robert and Sharon. Appreciate you. All right. Hold on one second here, guys. Accidentally banned Robert instead of kicked him off, so I'm making sure he's still on here. Robert, if you can hear me, can you please respond in the chat? I might have clicked the wrong button. Real talk, right? We'll get you back on, Robert. We'll figure it out. Okay, so that is a great way. So if you've never done sorry, my team's laughing over here and it's trying to keep my composure. That's a great way if you've never done a database reactivation campaign. If you're on Genie Rocket, it's basically using your past customer list to go back and get in front of them with a new offer or a new message. So if you have existing customers and you have them inside a Genie Rocket, it's as simple as one text or one email that can wake them back up. So it's kind of like waking up the past, the acres of diamonds, so to speak. And it's really as easy as just sending out that one email, but it needs to be a specific format, right? You can't just say, hey, are you still interested in buying from me? It's, hey, we had a conversation a while ago. If you're still serious about achieving this result, just let me know. And the goal is to get them to respond with something simple. Like whenever Marshall reached out to his group, he had a very powerful message, basically waking people up. And he said, hey, if you're still interested in achieving this goal or you still want to hit this milestone, then respond with X to let me know you're ready. And that respond with X is what people responded with to get a lot of feedback. So that is something that is really powerful. If you haven't done it yet, you should do it. It worked great for Marshall. It worked great for Robert. And it's something that you need to try. And it's pretty easy to set up. So let me kind of show you how that works if you're looking to do something like that. So all we're going to do is we're going to go into our contacts. And then we're going to make sure that we have the right context tagged. So for example, if you have all your past customers you're uploading as a list, you might give them all a tag of past customers or past prospects or past leads. And then you're going to create what's called a smart filter. So that's where you're going to come in here under all your contacts. You're simply going to hit the plus button, or I'm sorry, you're going to hit the more filters button and you're going to start creating that filter view. So we're going to say tag is, and then we're going to select the tag that we want to view. So So maybe it's tag is, let's say like dentist1. We hit save. I guess I don't have anyone with a tag. Let's find one that I actually have a tag for. So tag is Farm Club. Save it. You give it a name up here, and then all of those people are going to remain right here. And then what you can do is simply select all those folks right here. So you're going to click the checkbox. We're going to say select all records. And then we're going to choose from the top here, send text or send email. And Hannah, this might go to your question too of how do you send consistent mass text out without breaking the system. So there are some new compliance things that kind of stink. Like it's not fun to, get banned from like sending email or sending text. And the truth is like that happens to us too. When there's a high bounce rate or a high opt-out or unsubscribe rate, then you'll go into compliance jail for about a day. And it resets at midnight. So if you ever get to a point where it's like you can't send emails or you can't send texts, that's because you either have a high bounce rate or a high opt-out rate. A bounce rate means it was not able to be delivered. And an opt-out rate means people did not want your message and they're all responding stop or they are opting out. So you want to make sure that your list is clean. Why that's doing that is because security and privacy are at an all-time high right now in our world. And it's just making sure that you're not buying a fake lead list or buying a list of people that don't want to hear from you and you're not spamming the system. Because all of these accounts are connected at some level to a similar shared server. And if a server gets blacklisted because it's being used as spam, then that could affect all of our send rates. So we have all the extra compliance and checks in place. So you guys have great deliverability because your emails need to get out and your texts need to get out. So we don't want to poison the well with one bad account that's sending out a bunch of spam. And so that's why you get some of those messages. And I'll show you guys how you can kind of prevent that from happening as well. So what we're going to do is once we select all these people, that's where we can just say send text or send email, and we can start messaging those folks with a message. So what I'm going to do real fast here, actually, I'm going to see if I can get Robert back on. So Logan, if you don't mind, I'm going to have you take over for just a minute. And if you can show how in a quick workflow, if someone was to send out a message, I think this was Robert's question, so hopefully we can get him back on to see this. But if there's a response in a workflow, how we can then go and either tag that person or respond to them with another message. So if we say, send a message, wait for response, and then do something else, that would be hugely helpful.
Sweet. Yep. So I'm going to pop in to Genie Rocket. Let's share my screen. Awesome. So this workflow, you can make it kind of however complex or simple as you want. I'm going to stick with just like the skeleton, the most basic version of it. And then if you want to take it from there, you can. So I like to do these workflows without any kind of trigger. And then you'll enroll these people through the workflow using like the robot head. So I like to do send SMS. And so then your SMS will just be reply, let's go to get started. Whatever your offer is, you can make it like a fun keyword like Robert used early bird. Sometimes we just use, yes, reply yes to get started. So we'll just say reply, let's go to get started, save action. And then we'll do a wait step, and we'll do wait for contact reply. And we'll say reply to the SMS step. And we want to add a timeout. And the reason why we want to do a timeout is the people who go through this workflow, they will just be stuck in the waiting period for forever if we don't have a timeout. So we want the campaign to be quick, but sometimes people take about a day to respond. So you can do however long you want for the timeout wait period. But I'll just do 1 day for now. And then after the wait period, we're going to do an if else. And so then that's going to say if something happens, do one thing. If nothing happens, do, you can have it fire off all kinds of other stuff. So we're going to say contact replied message is let's go. Then I'll do save action. And then let's see, I think I'm going to do contact reply. Whoops. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So replied message is let's go. And then you'll notice I have a habit of clicking save up here after every time I do a new step. That's probably a good habit to get into. Sometimes we've backed out of workflows without saving, and that's never fun. So you can change like the names of these to be like more cohesive at a glance. So we can say contact replied, and then we can change the branch name to be yes. So then after they say yes, then this is where you can send another automated SMS. You could say, great, contact first name, we'll be in touch with next steps. You could do a voicemail drop, you could do a forced call. You can add your tag, so add contact tag. We'll just say, man, we have a million tags in here. We'll just say airport. Good. Airport tag. You could do, like I said, you could do a forced call. So a forced call is going to call you, but then it will also call the lead. You probably don't want to do this because I just thought about that. You'll end up getting, if a bunch of people say, let's go, you can only connect to one call at a time. So maybe don't do that. You could send emails, all of this stuff. And then on the flip side, if they don't say anything or if they don't respond, you could then hit them again with like a that's okay. That's okay, we understand message. And so you can kind of take it, whichever direction you want. And even if they click or if they don't respond and they time out in the wait, you could then copy all of this and put it back in the none. So then their message, the message here could say, hey, did you get our last message? If you're ready to go, let's go. Or respond with let's go. And then you could do the wait and the condition and all of that. So that's kind of a quick way to do just this quick text campaign. And so I'm going to call this SMS reactivation demo. I'm going to save this and then I'm going to click publish. And so then when you want to enroll people in this workflow, you just go to your contacts and you can select your list of contacts. Then you click the robot head and then you just enroll them in the workflow that you just built. Let's see. I can't find it. We have a million workflows too. There it is. SMS reactivation demo. And then you would click add to campaign workflow. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because I didn't actually build this out. So click add to campaign workflow and you're done. So at the, in the snap of your fingers, you just sent your text message, you just reactivated your list, and hopefully get some leads that are now awoken. I don't know the word.
Woke.
Yeah, you get woke leads.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Logan. So I know that was a little bit complex, but guys, this is the stuff, right? If you want to think like marketers and be marketers, the idea is you've got to jump in the pool. At some level, you can't just watch things about it and hear about it. You actually got to jump in and get started with it. So these are some things that you can actually jump in and get started with. So instead of being scared of workflows, press into the challenge of just playing with them and figuring them out, like jump in the pool, go for a swim, and try to figure out how they work and why they work. And that's going to give you so much strength whenever you have those ideas, right? So if Marshall has the idea of, hey, I want to send out this campaign. I just got this idea in the middle of the night. I want to send it out in the morning. He doesn't have to wait to jump onto support or wait to try to, figure it out with someone else. He can actually go in there and confidently set up a workflow to say, message one, wait for a reply, then this happens. In worst case scenario, if something kind of misfires, he just babysits it and figures out what worked and didn't work and does better the next time. But that's a lot better than just sitting on it or not doing anything. So I just want to challenge you to take action on these workflows. All right. So let's see, Hannah, you had the question about not breaking. Did I answer that for you? Are you talking about the compliance jail when you say not breaking? And let me just show you something here real fast that can help with some of those compliance issues. So in your Genie Rocket account, if you guys go into settings, there's a couple new things right here. So there is this one under general that says mark emails as invalid due to hard bounce. So what this means is whenever you try to send an email in the future, if it's an invalid email after one bounce, then it won't try to send to that email again. So this will help your compliance go up and your bounce rate go down. So once you put in a new email address, if it bounces once, it'll be marked as invalid and it won't do that again. Another thing you can do, and this is a workflow, and I think we have this here too. What did I call that? Let's see here. Nope, we'll just start over from scratch because that's always fun to do. Okay, so start from scratch workflow. This means what we're going to try to do is if a text message or if a phone number is not a cell phone and it's a landline or it's invalid, this will also, what I'm going to show you here, marks that as do not disturb. So if you're sending out a bunch of texts and you get all of these undeliverables on the phone number, you can automatically mark those as do not disturb. So the next time you send it out, same thing, they won't try to send to that number. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do, it's called under contact actions. If you just type in the word Twilio, it's called a Twilio validation error. And we're just going to say error is not valid or SMS incapable. We're actually going to select both of those. Okay, and again, that was under the trigger here, Twilio validation error. The filter is error is SMS incapable and not valid. And so what we're going to do is we're going to say if there's an error on the phone number and it doesn't go through, then we're going to type in D&D for do not disturb. We're going to say do not disturb for specific channels, and that specific channel is going to be SMS. So we still want to be able to send them emails. We still want to maybe be able to call them, but we don't want to try to use that number for texting because it does not work any longer. And that's it. So all this does right here is if the phone number isn't valid, it's going to mark it as do not disturb. And then what I also like to do is give it a tag. So we're going to add a tag. And I just created a tag called do not disturb SMS. So that way, when I pull up a contact, I know that this is not the right phone number. So I can always go try in the future to get the right phone number. And so this will help it whenever you are sending out emails. That first thing we did, it will try to validate the email. And this will make it where when you're sending out text, it'll validate the text. So you won't end up in a compliance jail as often. Yep, look at that. So Robert already tried the AI social content. Look at you. Custom stone address markers are the perfect way to give your home a unique look and add something special to landscaping. Why not get one made just for you? There you go. Look at that. Who's ready to buy from Robert? You can just put your credit card right in the little chat bot. He'll take it right there. He'll make you something pretty. That's awesome, Robert. Good job. Yeah, so Hannah, if you are seeing messages that say unsuccessful throughout the day, that can mean one of two things. It's either because the phone number is not valid, or it could be because if there is like a temporary block on the account from past invalid numbers. And again, that resets at midnight. So if you ever see that error where it says like account suspended or cannot send, or sometimes there's what's called a carrier block. And that means like just for whatever reason, the cell phone carrier won't receive that message. So there's some stuff that's completely out of your control. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong or broken with the system. It's just, when we're working with like, you're trying to send to AT&T and Verizon and Sprint and T-Mobile and all these different phone numbers, sometimes those phone numbers don't receive SMS or receive text. And it's just a tech issue, right? Everything has some limitations. All right. Any other questions or any wins that people want to share? Anything that they've been doing on their account that they're really excited about? I know you guys have been doing cool stuff. I see it all the time. Nothing? All right. How many of you guys use Slack? Just give me like a thumbs up in chat if you use Slack for your team. My team got all thumbs up. Slack's awesome. Hannah did with an old job. So Slack is a great internal communication tool. We actually use it more than email just for communicating as a team. So if we have questions, if we have thoughts and ideas, we use that for channels. Some people use Microsoft Teams, but it's Microsoft, so we don't use it. More on that later. But Slack is a great way just to have quick communication. And the neat thing is if you're already using Slack, you can now connect with that inside of your Genie Rocket account. This is a brand new premium feature. What a premium feature means is there's going to be a couple premium things in here that will be a very slight increase in charge per usage. And it's just pennies. So it's like every time something sends to Slack, it's going to cost like a couple cents. It's really small, but it just enables us to create those premium features. So what you can do if you are using Slack is if you go into integrations, you'll now see Slack down here. So you can connect to Slack, and you can connect actually to multiple Slack accounts. And then you can create some automations. So for example, if we want to say, like a contact is created, so every time a new contact is added to the account, then we're going to use Slack. And it's going to send to a public channel. It's going to send to our general channel, and it's going to say new contact added. And then I can actually use a little tag icon over here and have contact full name and save it and turn it on. What this means is every single time that a new contact is added to the CRM, it's going to pop open the Slack channel and say, hey, new contact added, first name. So when is this great to use? This is really great for sales, right? If you're celebrating wins of like, hey, we got a new lead or a new sale, you can make it where every time a new lead comes in, it goes to your Slack channel. Or every time someone makes a purchase, it goes to your Slack channel. So it's a great way to have your team celebrate with you. So if Hannah decided to start using this for Wild at Heart Canine Academy, she could say every time a new appointment gets booked for our top of funnel offer, it sends a Slack message and say, hey, new appointment booked with Logan Mulligan. And it's going to pull that information so the whole team can see it, and it just feels like everybody's winning. So that's a brand new integration. If you do have Slack, it's pretty awesome. And we're about 10 minutes out, but because I like you guys so much, I'm going to give you 10 minutes back in the day unless there's any burning questions that we can help you with. Me and Logan are right here. Madison and John that are in chat right over here. We are all here to help you if you guys need anything. Or if not, you can take off a little bit early, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Oh, Hannah's got the burning question. Okay, Hannah, when someone pays with an invoice, how do I check it's paid? Great question. So whenever you go into your invoice tab, you'll actually be able to see it as paid. So it should have a status of paid, unpaid, or overdue. So when you click in on payments and invoices, it will show you that status. All right, let me check. I'm going to pull it up on a separate window so I'll show your invoice statuses to everyone up on here. Let me check for you real quick, Hannah. K9 Academy. Okay, so if they paid on a calendar, so I can see all the transactions here. If you go into payments and into transactions, yep, Logan nailed it. That's where you'll see all the payments. If it's an actual invoice, it'll show up on the invoices tab. On the transactions, that will show you people that have paid on, it'll show where the source is. So right now you've got like 4 paid calendar spots and you have a text to pay. So it'll show you where they came from. And then you'll see the little green tag next to them where it says succeeded. Yep, and those actually did get changed here recently, Hannah. So now the text to pay is actually integrated directly with invoices. So it used to be a standalone transaction that was a little bit harder to track. And I think just a couple days ago that changed. So anytime you send a text to pay, that will actually now be sent as an invoice. So it will be all tracked in invoices. So that'll be a little bit easier for you now. You can set some email and text reminders for those. And if you guys want to stay on for just a second, we'll go ahead and help Hannah with this. And this is a good one to know. So if you are not using Genie Rocket for sending out invoices, just want to let you know you can do that. You can connect to Stripe or now Authorize.net. And we have a full invoicing suite in here. You can send text to pay invoices. You can send branded email invoices. Coming soon, you're also going to be able to send quotes and estimates through here that people can accept, and you can convert those into invoices as well. That's one of the secrets I wasn't supposed to say, but here we are. Okay. So for reminding on invoices, if we go to automation, we can do create workflows, start from scratch, invoice, and I'm pretty sure this is where we have an invoice paid one. Let's check. So we can have invoice. Invoice status is sent. Brad spilling the beans. I know you guys aren't going to let me on here. You'll let me on here when we have some big news. You'll have to run these. So it looks like it's a couple steps in here, Hannah, but right now there's no default invoice reminders, but you can create them. So this is like invoice status is sent. And then this is where you could send out a text and actually include the invoice information in here. So you could say a contact name, just a reminder. Here is a link to your invoice. And then we can use custom values. We can do invoice, and then we can do the URL right here for the amount of custom value, invoice, total price, save. And so when you send these out, it usually goes by text and email right away. So I would even add like a wait step right here. So we can say wait 1 day. And this is almost like your reminder. So then you can have this be like reminder 1. And then we're going to add a wait step. We might say 5 days. And then we're going to copy this, copy action right here. Going to make this reminder 2, reminder to pay. And then what we're going to have to do, Logan, you might help me here on this one. Do we need a separate workflow that says once the invoice is paid to stop this, or can we add that as part of the workflow trigger? Like if we do invoice paid, Yeah, separate workflow makes sense. So this would be your reminder workflow. So anytime you send the invoice, it is then going to send out these reminder steps. Yep, and this automatically would start the workflow. That's right. So this just says any invoice that's sent, it's going to automatically start sending these out. And then what we do is we would just create another real simple one. And we can help you with this too. If you get stuck, you can jump on chat. And this would say stop invoice reminders. And we're going to say if the invoice is paid, then we're going to remove it from the workflow. And that workflow is the invoice or invoice reminders workflow. So it's a couple steps, but what that does is whenever you send out an invoice, you have constant reminders. You can do text, you can do email, you can do ringless voicemails. Once they pay, boom, this will stop all those emails. Hopefully in the future that will be more automated, but right now that's how we do it. All right. Hopefully this was helpful to everybody. I'm glad that you guys all got to jump on here. If you're watching this as the recording, I hope you got some value out of this. You guys can also go back in the future and watch the recording if you missed a step or need to kind of see this slowed down of some of the workflows or automations or steps that we went through. I hope you guys all have an amazing weekend. This has been Cosmic Quick Fix, and we have something special coming up next month too, so be on the lookout for some kind of schedule changes on what we're doing. But next week, I think we have another Cosmic Quick Fix next week. Is that right? Are we taking a break for spring break? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be here. So either Logan will be leading one or it'll be canceled. You guys will know shortly. So you guys have an awesome weekend and be on the lookout in your inbox for some next steps for the next Friday, what we're doing. And we'll catch you all next time. Thanks, everybody.